First of all, I love Yellow Card. No. Our Lady Peace and Yellow Card are not the same.
Although they play off of a nice mix of each other. If you remember your days of making good mixed CDs, they could play together nicely.
Yes, I made a few mixtapes. I broke a few hearts.
Temer is singing the praises of all Canadian alt rock. Does that include new Canadian alt rock, or are you pure '90s, Temer? I'll wait for the stream delay to answer that question. Anyways,
I can't
Nick,
wait to play Dungeon World.
Yeah, Nick, what are we doing?
You literally just said we can't move on until Temer answers, and now everyone's like, let's
I said
go.
we'll get it later. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Boy, I can't wait until we can play Dungeon World, guys. Are you ready to play your favorite tabletop role-playing game simulator on the OS that is our imagination?
Yes, and with the discussion
yeah.
of alt rock will go no further because Temer said he's only into '90s shit. So, anyways.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fable Table, an actual play live stream about complaining until we play Dungeon World. Joining me today are the friends you know and love. So, how's everyone doing?
I'm in a lot of pain, Nick.
I'm sorry about your back, John.
I may get a little agitated. Please don't take offense.
Oh shit. Well, I need to
wait,
replan your entire
the last
session.
couple weeks weren't agitated then?
I am never agitated. I am performative, okay?
Different from every other week.
It is
somehow.
performative anger, all right, guys? You need to learn how to embrace.
So now it's real. Got it.
Now it is genuinely upset. That is me. I am mad. I am going crazy. Can we... Shannon, how are you?
I'm amazing, but also I'm incredibly sleepy. So I'm very sorry.
Nice.
Life is good, but I'm also incredibly tired and work is hard. But that's what makes this so much fun, because I get to hang out with my friends once a week.
Excellent.
How about you, Brad Guy? What's going on?
Tired as well. I spent 3.5 hours putting new uneven bar cables on uneven bars this morning, and then went to work tonight. So I am sore as shit. But I am awake and alert, and I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to play.
Uneven bars, like the gymnast platform?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Nice.
That's what I do for a living. I coach gymnastics. So.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Andy, cool. How about you?
Oh.
We're closing on our house on Friday. So
Jelly.
I never want to talk to a lender or a title company ever again.
Oh, well, I've got bad news for you.
They're going to be your lifelong friends from now on.
I know. I have to talk to them a lot.
Well,
No, they, as soon as the loan closes, they sell it to a servicer, so I get to talk to like some nice servicer instead of the lenders forever.
Oh my god, Valid in the chat just donating.
What the hell, Valid?
So many subs. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate
Every
you.
week with this guy.
Oh my god, Temer just had a 5-day power outage. Jesus. Okay. Well,
Jesus, Temer.
there's so much to talk about. There's so many things going on. Congrats on becoming a motherfucking homeowner, Andy. I'm so excited to drop off my puppies in your backyard.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah.
Who'd you ask?
You.
Oh, I'm fine. Healthcare system is a thing here in the States. And I gotta drive to work tomorrow, which will take 2 hours.
Nice.
And then 2 hours to get back. So, but I'm all right. Things are good. I've got a fun session planned. So let's dive right in, huh? Okay.
Let's do it. Let's meet a goddess.
Yeah. So let's talk about that as I cue some new music here. Last we left off, you all arrived on the scene of an ent carrying the rubies, the elven rubies of several dead ents. and it's being created by elves, rubies put into trees. And through your magic and investigation, you discovered that the orcs had attacked those Ents and stolen an elder ruby from their protection. You followed the Ent north to meet the elves in their hometown of I believe it was Vivend. And you met a couple of the factions within there. Among them are the Red Runners, some like cavalier, super passionate elves and half elves who work with several other kin, on going on missions and using spies and information to recover lost elven rubies, particularly from people who have stolen them or recovered them. There are many kin that covet the beautiful gemstone that is an elven ruby. The Red Runners are all about getting those back by whatever means necessary. You met their leader, Tender Robin, who seemed a little bit annoyed that you all had recovered quite a few rubies, including an elder ruby, Nebulos, who was identified by the leader of the Golden Bow, which is the druidic faction among the elves, and their leader Roseweld recognized Nebulos as his mentor. You also met several Red Runners, Hollow Hog and Dank Dew. Dank Dew, to his credit and his name, hooked 3 of you up with some dank weed, and you all are smoking as some crazy stuff is happening, but we'll get to that. Meanwhile, Wick was not really interested in everything that was happening between the Golden Bow, the Red Runners, and then just like the lay elves, as they were all discussing what to do about the stolen Elder Ruby, and he just took off to go meet up with Lucarin's former lover, Cascadia. So you transformed, you polymorphed into having some wings and took off with some very confusing directions. But meanwhile, the lay elves showed up and were like, hey, you all haven't even discussed bringing our god into this discussion about what to do. Flo is awesome and is super wise and gonna give us some great advice. And so they manifested some thunder using some strange beasts of burden and static discharge, essentially. And Flo shut up after a few minutes, and y'all are high out of your minds. Dank has the good shit. So we will pick up with this just lanky, strange, very unusual looking, wispy woman with just incredibly long, pale, glowing arms and legs, just essentially like gliding, but stepping very slow and gently through the woods. Her hair flowing in the wind as though it were floating in water. And she is moving towards the group. All of the members of the Red Runners and Golden Bow are rolling their eyes, folding their arms, and they look extremely displeased that Flo has arrived. It sounded like you also, Basil, were very upset at this turn of events.
Just upset at the religious reverie. People are wasting their energy.
Yeah.
Godding about.
All right. So Flo moves like weaving through the trees, spinning again very slowly and gracefully, like she's dancing. And she just seems to be grooving to the beat of her own drum. But many of the lay elves, who again can be identified by the fact that they're not wearing any sort of like pin on their clothing, unlike the Red Runners, who have like red starfish, red flowers, sometimes even some like jewelry that's like rose gold. That's how we identify the red runners. And then the golden bough all have dandelions pinned to their chest. But all the lay elves are like cheering and just like all come into the copse and just start kind of like grooving and dancing. And all of the red runners and golden bough kind of like back off to the edge of the clearing. What do you all make of this? Or what do you do?
I fly away.
Yeah, you're gone. We'll come around to you, John.
Is she approaching us? Or is she just approaching the center of everybody that's reveling in her glory?
She's moving towards the center of the clearing. Does anyone want to do anything, or should the scene continue unfolding?
I'll lean over to Basil and Cacophony and be like, what do you make of this?
Is she moving in slow motion for you guys too, or?
Yeah.
Or are we moving towards her?
I guess
know.
I just kind of want to see, like, okay, so the red runners and the golden bough are like rolling their eyes at a literal god. I'm just kind of curious to see like what's going on there, that they're like, they're just not into it at all.
Do you
So I'm kind of
ask
curious
anyone?
to see how that... No, I think I'm just kind of like watching it unfold. Like this is what's going on in Cacophony's head. She's like, what the fuck is this bitch is moving in slow motion, y'all. And nobody gives a shit that there's like an actual god just like 10 feet from them, like doing pirouettes and stuff in the grass. So
Yes.
no, I don't think she's saying anything. I think she's just like watching it unfold. Like maybe it's the weed, maybe this is really happening. She doesn't know.
Fair. So Flo approaches the cluster of elves who are like cheering or dancing. Some are bowing and just like anime sparkly-eyed looking at Flo. And she just like grooves on up to them all and is just like, hello, party people. How are you all doing? And she's just
a
like,
wine mom god.
oh yeah. And after like a minute of dancing and grooving, she's like, so like you called, what's up? And the elves begin to explain, and like they point a finger over at the Tender Robin and Roseweld, who are standing on like either side of you all, along with, you know, of course, Dank Dew is just like, whatever, man, and just like passes the joint around. Hollow Hog, who I haven't really described, he's actually probably the only like portly looking elf that you all have ever seen. And he's just, you know, arms folded. But he like, as soon as they look over this direction, he like unfolds his arms and kind of like straightens up, and looks like a little more at attention and respectful. Meanwhile, Tender Robin and Roseweld just kind of like looking around, move from arms folded to hands on hips, both like at the same time. And so finger pointing, you over here, there's some shit going on with the orcs, and one of the elder elves was stolen, and they don't even give a flying fuck about what you have to say about this. And Flo just goes, that's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. And Flo begins to move over in your direction.
I think Merrick will step forward, if nobody else does, and say, greetings, goddess. Why do you grace us with your presence?
Well, I was called by... And she like looks at you for a second. Is there anything about your person that like clearly demonstrates that you are a cleric of Worm?
Worm? I mean, I have a holy symbol that dangles from my head, and I wanted to, I don't know if I was able to, but I asked the dwarves to put an emblazonment on my shield.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, so I clearly show that I worship Worm without reservation or regret.
Fantastic. She's like, well, you all called... Huh. Did you call me?
No, goddess, I did not.
All right. I need... who called? They called me. Okay. What seems to be going on? Something has upset everyone. Tell me what's going on.
Seems a group of orcs from Gallerhall, one of their treasure hunting parties. I don't remember the name. I'll look to my party. Do you remember the name? They have a name they give to them. Anyway, they seem to have
It's pilgrimage.
pilgrimage.
Basil holds in smoke and does not release a breath, but coughs faintly. Unhelpfully.
The orcs from Gallerhall have sent a pilgrimage that came into the area seeking treasure, one of the elder rubies, and attacked an ent while doing so. I believe they killed an ent too. I believe.
Oh, well, you know.
Do it that way.
Shoot. I forget what happened to the... Who has the rubies that the Ent brought with him? It's probably...
The Ent?
They were given to Tender Robin, no? All of the rubies were handed over to...
And Robin's got them all.
Yeah. Okay.
We gave her the bucket o' rubies.
Yes, your rubies were given to Tender Robin. I think Roseweld probably has the Elder Ruby and the Ent rubies.
Okay.
Okay. So, Andy, you said you coughed. Can you give me a Defy Danger Constitution, please?
Okay.
Dice rolling.
Defy danger, Constitution. Badoop.
Yes.
Nice.
Nope.
That is a
Myra's
10. Very good. Okay, so you are not trying to draw attention to yourself?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm curious as to what this goddess is doing here, but
Fair.
I'm still in relaxed, having a smoke and learning about these people mode, and was not
Fantastic.
prepared for this giant, wispy wine mom to show up.
Wine mom is a great description. She's like, oh, well, it looks like the Ents are right there. We can put them right back where they need to go. So I'm sure the Golden Bough will handle that, right, Roseweld? Yes, goddess, of course, Flo. We will be taking care of that later today. Fantastic. Now, and she looks over at Tender Robin and says, "Oh, Tender, how have you been doing?" And doesn't even wait for an answer. I hope that the ruby recovery is going well. It looks like you've got quite a collection there. Were you going to be in need of restoration for your fallen siblings today? Is that why I was called? And Tender Robin groans and says, "Yes, Flo. It would be wonderful if you could revive our fallen siblings. Many of these rubies are new spores. They were just created from a recently shattered ruby." And she looks over at the rest of you looking for Wick, but Wick has taken off. Flo's eyes move back to the three of you. Although she does skip over you, Merrick. She has already looked at you. She looks to you, Cacophony. She says, "Ah, a Selkie. You helped with the recovery of these rubies?"
Most of them, yeah.
Wonderful.
The ones that she's holding, that was all us. But you're welcome.
Very good, very good. No need to... it is the elves who deserve... who should be sharing their gratitude. It is
Oh,
not
but they
I
didn't.
who you helped. Anyway,
I want to braid Flo's hair. Can I braid Flo's hair? Because
oh,
it's like it's like
I don't
water.
think I've ever
I
had
think
a
she wants to touch
Selkie.
it.
Yeah. Give me a dexterity check.
Oh boy.
It's fine.
I just imagine like while she's standing there, she's like wanting to like reach out and like touch it,
Mhm.
but dex.
That is a
Mm.
5.
That's terrible, and that's my highest score.
Oh,
Sh-
no.
XP.
Yeah, Mark XP. She definitely just lets you go to town. As her eyes turn to Basil. Basil, have you been holding your breath this whole time?
Pretty much.
Her eyes settle on you, and she suddenly becomes a little intense. And she leans in towards you.
Is there something you something you need? Maybe you'd like to meet my friend Chives. I like push Chives up in front of me.
Confirm it's a demon.
What
is this, Phil Spawn?
And Chives returns the overly intense stare. A lot more sociopathic comfort than Basil can manage.
She completely ignores Chives and like stares deeply into your eyes. It is incredibly mesmerizing, her just silver blue eyes piercing what feels like deep into your soul. And she pulls away with a smirk. And she looks over in the direction of Tender Robin. And then she says, well, it seems like you all have things under wraps. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I suppose I'll be taking the ruby that you need restored. Or the rubies you need restored. So she is going to be taking elf rubies that you all recovered from the mausoleum. And she is also going to be taking the Elder Ruby, Nebulos. And she... let's see what happens next. She says, I'll be needing some company to come with me into the Still Mist and assist with the restoration of these elves. And she looks towards you, Merrick, and you, Cacophony. And she says,
I will volunteer.
would you be interested in coming to the sacred grounds?
Yes. I
Fan-
very much would like to see you restore these elves.
Fantastic,
All right.
fantastic. Now, Tender.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, why is Basil not invited?
Oh, well, I'm sure he and Tender have so much to catch up on.
I don't feel good about leaving him behind, but I feel like if he wants to come, then he'll say something. But I'm gonna like kind of give her the stink eye.
Tender's my mom, apparently.
What?
Yes. Oh, this reunion. I love reunions. It's so wonderful. Tender, did you have you known about Basil? What are you talking about? Oh, well, this young lad here is your son. And she just like looks over at you. Puzzled.
Basil would just kind of stare discontented daggers at Tender Robin. Not totally interested, but not able to totally hide also the questions and concern.
Yes,
So-
why don't you all head to the Still Mist, and Basil and I we have much to discuss.
I think Basil would also like look to Merrick and Cacophony to be like, please don't leave me alone for this.
You've got your goat.
I'll point over to Chives. We're gonna go restore elves.
Fuck you.
So they're gonna shuffle on off with Flo, who is just like leaping and bounding very slowly in the direction of north, and just like waves, like just behind her, just like goodbye. And all of the lay elves are just kind of like, okay, so what's going on? And she's like, I'll be back after I restore some elves.
So the real question is, after that roll of a 5, what does her hair look like? Is it like tied in like 6 knots, or is it
You tell me.
or
It's an actual bird's nest.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Cacophony
awesome.
is curled up in.
I feel like that's like a 14 is an actual bird's nest, not a 5. But
Fair.
I like it.
It's not great. It's like that section no longer has the flowiness, like it's in water. It's just like bobbing and dragging, like it's not a good look. Okay.
I think Cacophony's very proud of what she did.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear
It's
that.
not every day you get to ruin a goddess's hair, so she's gonna have to cut that out. That's
Yeah.
not coming out.
Yeah. Let's while you all head into towards the north and into just this giant blanket of mist, as Flo just beckons you inside to follow her, and you all I don't know if you confidently stroll in or like give each other a look, but you head into the still mists after a short hike. But let's cut over to Wick, who. So you polymorphed to grow wings. What is that? Is that the only change that you made?
I need to fly, baby.
Okay. You go flying through the woods. The directions are completely unhelpful. But eventually you find what looks like a rather large herb garden growing in like kind of an open spot where there's a break in the canopy and sun is coming down on some fresh earth. And there, standing in the middle, kneeling down, planting some herbs, and gathering others in a like wicker basket, is a kind of older looking elf woman. Most elves just, they all look like they're in their 20s and 30s. But this woman has some distinct wrinkle features. She looks like she's in her 50s. And she is unaware of your presence as you approach, flying through the air.
I'll land in the forest, so, that I'm not just trampling on the garden unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
After falling, I'll try to, I guess, hesitantly step forward towards this person, breathing heavily, maybe even hyperventilating a little bit.
Oh, who goes there?
She turns around to see me, Wick, the monster man.
Mm-hmm.
This Eldritch Abomination, molded by a star spawn being.
She is startled at your sight. She immediately stands up, dropping the herbs that she was holding, and immediately takes like a defensive stance. And you begin to see her like moving her hand, like she is preparing to cast a spell.
I stare at her with bleeding eyes.
Who are you?
John has to remember how to do the Wick voice.
Gotta do Morty from Rick and Morty.
Hello!
There it is.
It is I, Wick Moss, from the Hollows. Friend and killer of Lucarin.
Oh boy.
You were expecting no mind games.
Yeah. She pauses and stares at you. What did you say?
I was the last friend of Lucarin, and I killed him.
She her hands paused and dropped to her side. And what do you want with me?
Someone to understand.
She takes a deep breath and says, well, then come and speak with me.
I approach. Try not to step on any plants.
She carefully watches you as you walk and says, to understand your condition. Is that right? Did you come looking for an exorcism?
Exorcism?
Yes, you were clearly possessed.
And cursed.
Yes.
Twice.
What do you wish for me to understand? And let's start there. And she gestures to the earth beneath your feet, the fertile ground, and she kneels and turns towards what she was doing. And she begins to work again, but her entire attention is on you.
Okay. How much of this do you want to role play out, Nick?
You tell me. What are you hoping to accomplish here? And or what do you want from her specifically?
Nick, excuse me. Wick has no friends or people to listen to him or anyone that truly understands him within a lifespan of 100 years or whatever. And he's hoping, desperately hoping, that this person who knew the exile elf who left his own people to go do whatever the fuck crazy shit, his lover would understand or know or get the idea of madness that Wick more or less extinguished in Lucerne.
Is that how you broach the topic? Tell me about his madness, essentially, or is it more soft of an ask?
It'd be more soft.
Okay.
He's trying to make a friend here.
Okay. So is it help me understand his history?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm sure she has questions of why did you do it?
Yeah. Give me let's see here. Give me a charisma check. That's an 11. Okay. So she settles and becomes very open in what she shares with you. She does not seem particularly suspicious of you or even threatened by you. She has put herself in a vulnerable position and invited you to just speak with her. So you have no reason to disbelieve her. So she begins to share her history with Lucerne. They were together for several centuries before the wars broke out. Between the time humans showed up, we're kind of recapping some history we talked about during the Quiet Year, but humans showed up centuries and centuries ago. They were received and said, you all can have the land of the south. We're going to divide, the gods were we're dividing the land. We're creating a mountain range, dividing the land. And eventually humans outgrew their land or treated it horribly, and things were really bad for them. And they basically brought war on the Ravenlands to expand and get resources. And it was before the Alder Wars broke out, but after humans arrived that they were together for several centuries. But when the wars broke out, elves, at least at first, weren't super... They basically considered it to be a squabble. like among the mortal kin, she explains. And the elves basically stayed out of it to let them, like, you know, sort out that little tiff. But that tiff went on and on and on, and eventually, after like a few decades, reached the elves. And that's when they decided to get involved. And it was at that point that their elders, who I've been using the term leaders. That's not really the social structure of elves, but they, like, there is no hierarchy among elves, but there is status of wisdom and experience. So those who are older are more revered and trusted to make decisions. So when I say leader, I'm just talking about older elves and more experienced people who others look to for their wisdom. And then that's just kind of the gist that you get about elf culture from this. So the eldest among them, the elders, began to discuss what to do about this, but they debated for like a year or two. Like, as soon as they were like, oh, okay, maybe we should act. And they just debated and talked and kind of like hummed and hawed. And Lucerin and another elder, Lyrica, grew impatient with the discussions. They collaborated together and built an idea. Lucerin was a wonderful craftsman, and Lyrica was someone who had been researching and understood the nature of magic, particularly like ancient forms of magic, and primal forms of magic. And together they realized that through essentially pattern magic, although Cascadia wouldn't understand it to be that way, she does not understand magic the way and refer to it the way that you all do with your knowledge. Apparently pattern magic can be invoked using elven rubies as a power source, but particularly older elves, and Cascadia doesn't quite know why, but that was what was pitched to them, is that they could create patterns and infuse those patterns into artifacts that Lucerin would build, and Lyrica would provide the patterns, and some of them, or one of them at least, would just like give up their physical form and live as a ruby set in these artifacts. And they could use that magic to turn the tide of the war. But after a bunch of humming and hawing, the elders decided that compelling another elf, or forcing them, or just creating a situation where people felt compelled, was unethical. And that creating these artifacts that other kin could use to do unthinkable things was just not a good idea. And it sounds like that kind of resonates with you, given what we know about your previous understanding and how Lucerin explained this to you. So they were told they could not do this, Lucerin and Lyrica. However, they, Cascadia shares, began to develop an artifact in secret, very, very shortly after their discussions and their censorship. And they were discovered by Cascadia. She caught them doing this. And Cascadia and Lucerin had a huge fight and falling out. That is when their relationship ended. Lucerin said that he had grown impatient with the other elves, that they were the reason that the Ravenlands was going to fall, and he was fed up and unwilling to stand by and let the elves be passive. So he claims that his good intentions would justify, and the ends would justify the means. And no matter, Cascadia kind of like begins to get emotional at this point, and like there are tears, and Cascadia says that
I'm weeping with her.
Yeah. Like, it's just so wrong, she says to you, what he wanted to do to our people, to like to the world, and he just wouldn't listen to me. I begged him to listen to his heart and to mine, that I knew him. I knew that he had good intentions, that he wanted what was best for our people and the world, and still he did this terrible thing. And yet what hurts the most is that he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't trust, me, his beloved, me, his friend, me, his companion. And still he said, I will do what needs to be done. And he let his fear drive him rather than have the courage to find a way with his people, says Cascadia. And shortly thereafter, he and Lyrica left. They left together. And she says she does not know what happened after that to them. She never saw or spoke to either of them again.
Was Lyrica the gem that I gave Luceren?
Yes.
So at one point, she died, got put into a mound where the Iron Brothers found her.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Huh. I recant everything that led up to me murking my man Luceren. So, initial story of like, oh, we were setting out and we ran into some Iron Brothers and we found Lyrica in her gem form. And then we took that to Luceren, not knowing what it was. And at first I thought he was super chill and really cool, but I saw madness in him. And then he showed me the schematics for magical weapons, and I can somewhat see the future, so I did that little thing. And then, realizing what he would do if left alone, I did something much more violent than you.
It wasn't madness. It was fear. Our world, back then, it was breaking. And now, with the state of things, the world is still broken. And while I can understand and appreciate his desire to help and make things right, there is a right way to go about these things. I do not fault you for what you've done.
I hold my chest where my heart would normally be, were I not a mutant freak.
She weeps and eventually collects herself and says, I just wish he would have listened, that he could have leaned on his friends, sought counsel, and seen that his way was not the only way. Give me... Oh boy. Give me a wisdom check.
Can I get rid of confused from
No. That is what this...
I'm still confused!
That's what this roll is about.
That would have been a partial!
Okay.
No, it still would have been a failure.
Mark XP, John.
1.
And her last words kind of hit you really, really hard. And I'm going to encourage you to let them nag it at Wick. The idea of relying on your friends, that your way is, it's not your way or the highway.
I understood it. You didn't need to be so blatant.
And yeah, I think she just it becomes clear to you that not only is she processing her grief and appreciates you sharing this news with her, but she's also looking at you the way a mentor, some of the way Luceren has looked at you, especially when he's been you need to learn a hard lesson, Wick, and giving you a bit of a stare, and with her words, she peers into your heart, or where it would be. and she is looking for a sign that her words are landing.
Yeah, of course they land. I'm trying to... How would a freakazoid actually just...
We can come back to you if
Yeah,
you'd like.
come back
If
to
you
me.
want to work on that. Let's cut over to American Cacophony really quickly. So Flo is doing her like grooving dancing while spinning thing through the mist. And because the mist is white and she is very pale, she moves actually quite quickly, even though she looks like she's moving very slowly. And her movements are slow, but she's just so lanky. So like you have to kind of hustle a little bit to keep up with her. What do you all think of this so far? Any thoughts or anything you want to say to each other?
I mean, I wouldn't say anything, but Merrick in his mind is like, I get to learn how to bring things back. Restoring souls. Restoring life to things that are dead. This is amazing.
Cacophony's inner monologue is like, you probably shouldn't steal anything, but I know you're gonna want to do it. But like, you should. She is a god. She will smite you. Try not to steal anything obvious. If you have to steal something, she's like rationalizing like her bad behavior that she knows she's probably gonna do something bad. Just she's trying to talk herself out of it while also talking herself into it.
She slows down and pauses. She goes, "Girl, I know we are going to have such a good time. You, mouthpiece of worm. Do you know any good jokes? Do you have any fun facts in that tome of yours?"
Got any jokes?
Come on,
Merrick
anything entertaining.
Looking through it.
Flip, 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 flip,
Not
flip.
really. I got nothing. But you said something about restoring souls.
Oh, yes. We'll get to that, but never mind. Okay. Party pooper. And she just like continues moving forward. And eventually, after moving through the mist for a couple minutes, you all arrive at what looks like it's kind of temple-like in its appearance. Like it looks very reverent. But it is a gazebo made out of stone. And there are just large pillars and archways, and there are 6 different kind of entrances to this gazebo. You can look through all of them, and there is like just more mist through each one. And she walks through one of them and says, "Come along, come along." And as you step into the gazebo, once you are standing inside, the appearance of what you see is very, very different. As you peer out through each of the archways, you see, like, these are portals. You see a variety of 5 other worlds. There is one that looks very blue and bright, like the sky. There is one with more mist, but it is more golden in nature. There is one that is a desert. There is one that... Oh, how would I describe this? It's just got like a bunch of black stone. And... Oh, I only described 4 here. And then there's another one that looks like it's just covered in snow and ice. And she says, "Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to go over here and get some R&R. You all," and she like takes the rubies and just places them like she holds them out and just begins to let go. Like doesn't even wait for you to take them. She just like is like, here you go.
I will hustle to grab whatever I can.
Okay.
Hopefully Cacophony is faster than me.
I'm gonna do the like scooping underneath for like whatever you don't catch in the bag. Like Jesus.
And she goes, I would love it if you all went to this other world and took care of reviving those for me. And she like looks around at the portals and she points at the desert one after like, yes, in this world there are beings capable of healing and restoring anything. And they will take care of it for you. I just need you to go locate one or two of them, and they should be able to handle the rest. We'll meet back here in a little bit, say an hour.
How do we get back? Are we gonna be able to find our way back?
Yes, of
Is this
course.
like a magic gazebo that only you can access?
No,
or
no,
like...
no, no, no. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. Well,
What are these beings that we're supposed to find?
you'll know them when you see them. They're the only ones that exist on that world. At least, I think they are. Yes, I'm pretty sure they're the only ones. Yes, that's how I made it. It's been so long. Yes, right through there. And we'll see each other in an hour. I've got this knot in my back that won't come out, and I need the mists in here. They're quite cleansing in here. Anyway, see you in an hour. And she just dashes through into the portal with like the golden mist.
We'll look over to Cacophony and be like, well, that's about what I expected.
Yeah, she's
Sure,
pretty
nope.
sus. That bitch is sus.
Did
Yeah,
Chives
that's,
did Chives end up going with you? By the way, is Chives with you for this journey?
Oh, no. Chives
No, I
not
thought-
sticking around to meet his mother-in-law?
I guess I thought mother-in-law.
No,
I guess
Mother-in-law.
Chives stuck with you guys, with you for moral support because
We've
your mom
actually
is
spawned
terrible.
on me.
Chives and
believe
I
it
are
or not.
actually married.
We have Schrodinger's
I
child.
knew it. I knew it. You two were too close. You're a cute couple. It's fine.
Alrighty. Let's cut back over to Basil. There is a stare down that happens immediately as Merrick and Cacophony are leaving, as we're, cutting back in time a little bit. Oh my god, I've already forgot her name.
Robin. I am
Tender
desperately curious to talk to this person and find out more about why I was abandoned as a child, but far too proud to ask. So I fully resolve to hold out silently until Robin broaches the subject.
So she's like, step on over into my office, and she like walks over to the next tree away from Dank Dew, who's still leaning against the tree smoking, and he's just kind of like, he just gives Hollow Hog a look like, oh my god, how awkward. And
With the idea that Dank Dew might have just been like, that's your mom, bro.
yeah, that's your mom. Oh shit. Oh, well, good luck. And he just kind of like, he's like, you want one more hit before you go? And she's just like stomping over towards the tree.
I will skip the hit and just be on my way. Basil might walk up and kind of like, give you an approving nod.
Like he wants a hit, or?
No, just like a thank you, a goat thank you.
And he's just like, okay, see you later, goat friend.
Communicates approval in a way that only a high person could interpret from a goat.
Fantastic. Tender Robin is like somehow is in more of a power stance, like even more so than when Flo showed up, like hands on hips, like, and she just confronts you when you walk over. Is this why you came?
I admit I was curious, but no, we're here on an altruistic mission, simply to help elf kind recover from a terrible tragedy. Basil's defense mechanism here is the moral high road. I had no idea I'd be meeting the woman who abandoned me so many years ago.
Give me
A
Give me-
passive aggression check?
yeah, give me Defy Danger Charisma, please.
Oh god.
One more time.
That's gonna be
Here
bad.
comes a slap.
Yeah. Boop.
A slap heard round the world.
She is not buying your shit.
Mark an XP.
Yeah, mark XP.
Good rolls, guys. Good rolls.
Great rolls. She just like isn't having it. She's like scoffs and says, "Look, what do you want from me? Is it you clearly don't understand your heritage, because if you had simply like said something up front, you would have been more than welcome."
I've never considered myself an elf. I was a tool for the fawn where you left me,
Those fawn,
and I've had my own life since.
I'm sure, gave you a welcoming home and a safe environment.
Only insofar. Go ahead.
Certainly safer than the one you would have had with me as a Red Runner.
Had I been a Red Runner, I would have had a purpose beyond being loved insofar as I could keep people safe.
Keep people safe?
Fawn believed that children were protecting them from the blood mist. We were little more than amulets to be carried around to protect them. I had no life with them. Just a tool.
She like is taken aback at this. A disgusting tradition, to be sure.
Yes. Well, you clearly were familiar with it, so you knew what I was getting into.
I had no idea that the fawn did such things with their children. With any child. I thought that since they lived out in nature, outside of homes, like us, that they would be safe. That the blood mist would ignore them, ignore you.
What would I have been doing instead with the Red Runners?
You would have been a babe, carried in a warrior's arms. No place for a child.
Chives beats his hoof, and Basil's like, I mean, that sounds pretty fucking cool.
Well, if that is the life that you are looking for, you are seeking to become a Red Runner after all, then here you are.
I want no part of your revolution, kid.
Did you seriously just call her kid?
No, I'm just repeating a Han Solo line.
Okay.
I want no part in your revolution. I simply want to help keep things in balance, help keep people like you from taking advantage of and hurting children.
I do not hurt children. Not even in the work that I do, recovering rubies. Yes, there are those out there who deserve our wrath and vengeance, but not their children.
And what have the kids left behind from your wrath? Do you drop them at the doorstep of communities that would abuse them?
I typically find them in communities that are more than capable of taking care of them. Hamlets, villages, human cities. These are the places I go to recover elven rubies. Or fighting bandits on the road. There are certainly no children there, but sometimes a merchant will get greedy and covet our souls, our very souls, display them in their jewelry or on their mantles. Some do have children, and they have a city to live in, a mansion, a home, wealth of their parents. I do not take these things, only their life.
Chives gives Basil a nudge that seems to say, quit being a dick. And Basil softens and begrudgingly and says, fine, well, I need no part in your revolution, but I am curious to know why why I could not have been brought up to be one of you. I am a fighter. I am powerful.
Come with me, she says, and she begins walking towards one of the few structures in the immediate area where there are other Red Runners sitting at tables, going over, like, as you approach, they have, like, maps laid out, scrolls with notes on them, and they are talking about various agents, like halflings and goblins that they have been working with that had provided, like, information. And it looks like there is a city, it is a map of a city that is laid out here. Cacophony, what is the name of the city that you are from?
Mm.
Or were you in the Hollows, like, your whole life?
No, she was not in the Hollows. I wanted to call it Duxburg, but I don't think that's right.
Okay, we can use that as a placeholder if you need to think of something.
I was trying to think. What was the one from DuckTales? That was the one I was thinking of. Is it Duxburg? It's gotta be.
We say
We'll call it
Squawkland.
Squawkland. I like it a
Okay.
lot.
And what is Squawkland populated by? Is it, like, many kin or just one or two?
I think it's mostly Selkies, like shifters, of varying of various purity, I guess. Like
Okay,
like
right, yeah,
some
because
are
there's
halvesies, some are just like strange looking people who have feathers.
yeah. Sorry, what was the name of it? Squawkland.
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 Like Auckland.
Yeah.
But
So as you walk up, Hollowed Hog is talking about how they have like a goblin and halfling informant traveling merchants who recently wed a few months ago that have been helping inform them of any sightings of rubies or even rumors of rubies. As they've traveled, they've put out feelers that they are interested in acquiring some as a cover to getting information. So there is a ruby in Squawkland that they are interested in pursuing. But the town has tons and tons of Selkies who are notoriously suspicious of elves, particularly in large cities like this. And it will be like they kind of like go over how difficult this mission is going to be and how violent it could turn. And she like uses this as a way to illustrate to you the dangers of being a Red Runner. As a way of answering your question.
I have fought far scarier battles.
Really?
But it doesn't matter. Your future goals don't mean a lot to me. I simply wish I could have been considered worthy.
Well, in my eyes, you are. You have brought us, you and your companions, strange as they are, have brought us more rubies than we've managed to obtain in the last several months. It is honestly quite impressive. And if you were interested in joining us, usually we have a trial and rites that one needs to perform, but I think returning an Elder Ruby and as many other rubies as you did is accolade enough. If you wish to have a seat at our table, it is yours.
If I wanted to, I would not want preferential treatment. I would take the test same as anybody else.
Well,
And the companions that you shat on earlier have been more a family to me than the Red Runners ever would have been.
Well, should you wish to take the test, we could administer it today, if you'd like. just to see where your abilities are at, if you're interested.
I think Basil will pretend to not be interested, even though he would desperately, absolutely want to try.
Sorry, my puppy is like coughing and choking.
Nova.
And now she's just being silly. Okay. She's like, well, I have other elves and half elves I was going to test if you want to come check it out. And she begins to walk away.
And I'll follow.
Okay. Let's cut back over to Wick.
So anyway, I stabbed Lucerne in the back, and then a god showed up. He's called the Veiler, or Veiled One. And he admitted to cursing me and driving Lucerne mad, which is why I called him mad instead of fear-mongering. Do you know anything about that?
He drove Lucerne mad.
Yeah, he's like this weird... Look into my eyes and you can see him a little bit.
She reaches out a hand and says, so he has put magic on you, cursed you, yes?
Yeah, I'm cursed by 3 different things right now. I don't know how they're all kind of... Maybe it's because I'm so cursed, not any one of them can get to me directly anymore.
Let's take a look at you. And she begins to reach out hands towards your head.
Go for it.
Okay. Wow, you're being very open and honest with her.
I'm not a liar. I'm just not a truther.
I was gonna say, do you lie to yourself? Maybe a bit. Yeah, she is going to cast some magic on you to try and understand what the fuck is going on with you and your body.
Yeah, go for it. I'd love to know. Get me a doctor.
You hear in your mind, ooh, don't touch me there. And he's like, oh, come back. And like she immediately like begins to grimace and sweat as you feel like when you summon your sword and it comes out of your chest. You know, there's a lot of physical feelings that that come with that, and you feel like a little tingle of that. And she looks very, very concerned. Who are the 3 things you consider yourself to be possessed by?
I'm possessed by only one guy, but I'm definitely cursed by Veil. We got Frank as number 2. And this one is purely in Wick's imagination and head, but he swears that he is like either blessed, cursed, or beloved by Rust himself. Because otherwise he would not be going through such struggles.
Sure.
Constantly.
Okay. She reels back. Actually, you know what?
Reels forward.
Give me... She's feeling around. You can feel the like slight, tension that builds up like when you cast your sword, like just a little bit. And then it becomes apparent to you that I don't know how this would become apparent to you. You just feel like a gust of cold, and you feel like you're being watched. And there is an immediate feeling in your gut of rage, and it is not your own. And then suddenly it is malice, and I don't know, like, one thing I've been doing a lot lately has been just kind of like processing my feelings and actions around anger. And one thing I've learned about anger is like a lot of the buildup is emotional, and then there's like a quick moment where action is starting to become or feeling is starting to become action. And you feel like something is coming. Something builds up very quickly within you, and you feel like you are about to attack Cascadia. What do you do?
I do a triple Sal Cal away from her before
Triple
I stab her in the chest.
Okay. Give me a Defy Danger Dex.
Hell yeah.
Stick the landing, Wick. Stick the landing.
That is a
What did I
14.
get?
Oh!
Wow. Well done.
Not only that, and then he pulls a double toe loop right out of it. Just connects it. It's
Oh
perfect.
yeah. I pirouette.
She is startled by this and and you feel like Vale is like, it feels like his hand is trying to pull the sword out of you, like push it out of you. And for and then it just like goes away as suddenly as it appeared. But she like looks at you with surprise and says, I felt that coming, but there was no way I was going to be able to react in time. Thank you. What? That was that Vale god?
Yep.
Yes. I felt the ghost you mentioned. Creepy.
Frank.
Perverted,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
It's considerable, his power, but seems to not be too much of a threat. But then when I
Well.
started feeling there was something within you, some sort of living creature, something, I'm not quite sure what it was. And she like pauses and thinks for a moment. It reminded me of something that Flo used to talk about. Something called the fairy.
Fuck.
Beings that she made with her siblings on another world long ago. Something was wrong about them, which is why they left them on that world. You have one within you.
Yeah. I ate it.
You ate it.
I ate it. I was dying at the time.
Necessary evils. They certainly are a curse, aren't they?
Yeah. But I don't count those as real curses.
See.
I've got too many real ones already.
Well, I can certainly help you with your ghost problem, but I do not know anything about exorcising a fairy, and nor would I want to with what Vale can do. He does not want it to be rid from you, that's for sure.
Well, it's probably the only thing keeping me alive.
Well, I am a druid. If I were to try to remove it and something were to happen, I could help. And with some certainty, you'd make it through to the other side.
I need to consult with my physician before we dedicate our time to that.
Of course. Your bodily autonomy is of the utmost priority to me. Well, is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
No.
Would you
Not at the moment.
like some tea? And she like picks up the basket of herbs. It'll be fresh.
Yeah, sure, fuck it. Why not?
Okay. She will lead you to another open concept structure where there is a kettle and a fire. She will heat up the water and prepare some tea. It reminds you of tea Luceren has made for you, but Luceren's tea has always been like a 4 or a 5, except for when it was cold, of course, and that was a 1. This is like the crit. Like, this is what it should be. Like, this is the tea Luceren has always tried to make, but he has apparently not had the right ingredients.
I cry openly. I don't even drink it. I
Aw.
just smell it.
She sits with you. All right, let's cut back over to Merrick and Cacophony. So, there are 5 open portals before you, and the 6th entrance behind you leads back into the still mist. You have been given all of the rubies and asked to go into the desert and meet some sort of creature that will resurrect these elves. What do you do?
I'm gonna be like, okay, Merrick, here's the thing. I know that you are like super jazzed about learning how to do whatever it is that these people are probably going to teach you. But I am going to ask, do you want more of these douche canoes running around? Because they're not super great. They're not great people. And she wants us to make more of them or resurrect more of them and bring them back.
Well, aren't we here to obtain allies? And then I hold up the rubies.
Man.
There are like almost a dozen allies right in my hands.
I mean,
I hold the rubies in front of her.
are they our allies? They looked at me like I was a dog. They looked at me like I was like less than that. They looked at me like I sniffed my own butt, and I'm not okay with any of that. I am a proud creature. That was terrible to be treated that way.
Well, remember, we're diplomats. We're going to run into all kinds of people who do not like who we are and who treat us like shit. It's our job to let it roll off our shoulder. Plus, if we resurrect them from death and they still don't want to ally with us, then it gives us a true reckoning of of what was meant to be.
Yeah, fine. But I am stealing something from this world.
Don't worry. We're going to be chasing down some orcs here pretty soon and have plenty of shit from you to steal.
Thank you. I'm glad you understand. I appreciate that.
Oh, yes.
All right, so
I'll offer an elbow, shall we?
I'm gonna put my feathers, my little feathered wing, right on top. And then we're gonna
Prance our way into the desert portal.
Okay.
Arms full of
They
rubies.
were never seen again.
arms full of, and then we were never seen again. Exactly.
All right, I'm going to move us to a new map.
Ooh.
A map.
Let me grab Merrick and Cacophony.
We're immediately beset upon by 18 man scorpions.
Cacophony, I see that you are injured. Is
What
there a
was that?
particular reason for that? I forget if you took damage. Because, like, our encounter on the journey didn't have anything specifically that caused damage.
Let me go back
Maybe
through the
you
rolls
haven't
really
updated
quickly.
your sheet since the last time we had combat.
Mm,
Which is
Have
when
we
stopped
had
playing.
a long rest since the last combat?
I mean, there was a ton of... Well, wait.
Because we were. I feel like I took.
Yeah, yes, yeah. There was, like, some rests, like, while camping, I think. Because you took damage during the fight, like you got
where I
fireballed,
caught
right?
a fireball to the face, yeah, and then Merrick healed me a little bit.
Oh,
and I
that's
got
right.
some of
Okay,
those
so
hit
that
points
must be
back.
where that damage is from.
So if there was a rest, I can put it back up, but I didn't. I just haven't.
Let me just double check
haven't looked at it.
recover after a day of rest, and then there is make camp.
Oh shit! I still have to add a new ability, a new move to my
Oh, yeah.
sheet. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you should be max HP here. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay. All right. So you all step out of the portal, and behind you is a gazebo, like just like the one you just stepped out of. However, there is only one active portal in this gazebo, heading back to the still mist in your world.
Could we leave like breadcrumbs, or something, so that we can get back to this gazebo? Unless like, okay, like as we like look around, does it look like this gazebo is one of many, or is it just like?
No, you fly up into. Oh, give me Cacophony. Give me a No, you fly up
Discern
and
realities, or?
you look around and there is just desert everywhere. But there are quite a few like pockets of these like oases that you see. And far off in the distance, you see what looks like an obelisk. And it's the only other landmark besides oases and the gazebo.
Okay, I'm gonna let Merrick know. I'm gonna be like, I think we have to head towards that. Is it like a giant black obelisk? I'm assuming, or is it like?
No, it's just made of stone, the same stone as the gazebo.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna be like, well, we gotta go towards the giant stone. I'm gonna call it a pecker because I don't know the word for obelisk in Crow.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Okay.
they all look. Yeah, we gotta go to the big stone pecker. So.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Are we at one of these oases now? Is the gazebo there?
No. Well, I mean, like, yes, there is an oasis right by the gazebo you start at, but this battle map is going to be for in a little bit.
Okay.
Actually,
I would taste the water before we head off. If we're about to walk through the desert, I don't want to be parched. If it tastes normal, then I would drink my fill and fill up water skins and whatever. How far away is this pecker from where we are?
Cacophony estimates that it's like 2 miles or so.
Not too bad.
No, it's quite a bit of a hike, especially through this desert. But the climate actually isn't that hot. Okay. It's a little humid though, so that does help make it like a little uncomfortable. But it's not too bad. It's mostly pleasant. Like if you didn't have all this armor on, it would be very nice. But it's just a bit much.
High desert.
Yeah. Okay. So you begin hiking through the desert past several oases. And one thing you notice that besides plant life, you are not perceiving like any other forms of life here. Can I get a wisdom check from whoever is keeping watch?
I think we probably
What's your
both
wisdom?
have our eyes out. My wisdom is pretty solid. It's a 18.
Oh, dude, mine is 11.
The roll is 14, Nick.
Fantastic.
That is a max roll.
That is a max roll.
Actually, it should be a 15. I have a spell modifier on. -1 spell modifier, so it should be a 15.
Yeah, you rolled 2 6s. Well done. So, Merrick, you are keeping an attentive eye. You're making sure to keep you and Cacophony like at the top of these like kind of rolling dunes between the oases so that you can keep like the best watch. You know, this is the whole other world you're standing in, which is quite just amazing. You are full of awe. It is truly awesome, but you are still being quite attentive. You know that, you know, you don't know what to expect from this. There's nothing in your books that could prepare you for this. So you're taking it all in. And out of the corner of your eye, to your south, or what you believe is south, you see what looks like movement. And you turn to look, and it moves like something moved past a dune and got obscured by another dune. And you reel around and you see something else moving to the north. and it becomes clear to you that something is happening. You have Cacophony fly up to see what is happening. And Cacophony, you are shocked to see what appears to be several clouds of red mist floating in y'all's direction. And there are a half dozen of them spread around you. It is a sight you have seen throughout your entire life until the last few months. These are clouds of blood mist, and they are all moving in your direction.
Shit.
Okay.
Is there cover? Is there anywhere to hide? No.
We will cut back to you.
Damn it! All right.
There are break.
Yeah, should we? Let's take a quick break here. I think this is a good spot. All right, we will be right back with more Song of the Ravenlands. Alrighty, we are back. We are going to pick right back up with American Cacophony, I think. So, Cacophony, you clock that there are 6 different clouds of blood mist heading in your direction, and you all are about a mile. You're like halfway between the obelisk and the gazebo. What do you do?
We were told that there are creatures here, only things that are living. Are these the creatures we're sent to find, or are these enemies?
I mean, that's a great question. I don't see any other living creatures, though. The only thing is the gazebo, the stone pecker, and then these blood mist clouds. There's literally nothing else. Maybe, unless they're in the water. Did you see anything when you bent down to take a sip? Was there? I don't see anything in the trees. Should we do can I do a discern realities and see if I can sense if there are any other life forms around me?
Yes, go for it. Take +1 from your racial. And then okay, that's a 10. So you get to ask 3 questions.
Oh my gosh. What here is useful or valuable to me? I'm assuming that we need shelter. Is there anywhere that we can you're the GM. You tell me. Is there anything that's useful or valuable to me?
Yeah, so obviously the gazebo is valuable as an escape route. The water is useful in that mist does not seem to be able to penetrate water, but unless you have a way of holding your breath and escaping, that's only going to be so valuable. And then the obelisk itself, ? You're not really sure what features or if there is even an inside. That if you can make it inside a building, you are safe. That is the way the blood mist works.
So, but we're heading in the direction of the obelisk, and the blood mist clouds were coming from that direction towards us.
They have encircled you. They are coming from six
directions.
6 directions. Yeah.
God dang it! All right. Well, that didn't help me at all. Awesome. Because it's too late we can't run back to the gazebo. Okay.
Is Cacophony still stoned?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah.
You
get to ask 2 more questions if you want.
What should I be on the lookout for?
Besides the obvious, the blood mists, the where the blood mists are not, as a Selkie you can fly up and you can avoid the blood mist. Merrick, however, can't, and he's quite heavy with all of his new armor on, so you're not sure you'd be able to airlift him for very long.
Can he leave his armor behind, and then we'll come back for it?
That's an idea.
I don't want to. Is there... Okay, I'm not saying you have to get rid of it. I'm saying we stash it in a tree somewhere. And then we'll come back for it. And I lift you up over the blood mists until it's safe.
I mean, what tree? We're standing on top of a dune in the middle of a desert.
There's shrubs.
Yeah, there's oasis near you, like much closer to you than the blood mists are. But you only have like a brief, like a minute before they're going to be upon you.
Ah,
Do I have enough time to take my armor off in a minute?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Here, you ask.
This is
Probably
dwarven.
not.
This is dwarven made, or yeah, they made this for you, right? Or no, they sized it for you.
Yeah, but does Merrick want to abandon his armor? I don't know. It's got the symbol of my god on it. Can I just abandon that on a wayward
Better
desert?
start casting
We're coming
spells
back
then,
for it.
Chief.
We're coming back for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I
okay.
will,
So you.
I will
you-
signal Cacophony down to me. Be like, let's prepare ourselves. We have to fight our way through. We fight our way through. If we find another route, we take it.
Okay. Or we have to go under the water and hold our breath. I'm not a submersible bird.
Then let's work our way towards. Then let's work our way towards the obelisk. Maybe if we can get there, we can find others who can help us.
Okay, well, we're probably going to get caught out in the middle of this blood mist, but okay, I have one question
Stay
left. Do you want
close.
to take it?
Oh no, by all means, your questions, and then as soon as you're done, I'll be casting a spell
hate
unless you find.
Decisions.
Oh my
All right.
god, there's only so many. Just
What here is not what it appears to be.
perfect.
Ooh.
That was the one I wanted you to ask.
I was wondering.
You look at the water once again to be like, is there anything here? Is there that could be really useful? And at the bottom, you notice from like a closer look, there are bones at the bottom, and some of the wind picks up and blows other bones off, like that were covered in sand. And this used to be, like from looking around at some of the bones, a very diverse world. Like there are many types of creatures that used to live here and are now all dead.
That does not help me.
Helps me. These things aren't going to stop. They're going to kill us. Come close,
So-
and I will cast a spell.
Okay. I will point out, and Shannon, you did roll this, but you didn't like declare what you were doing, so I'm not counting it. You have escape route, like as a move that you can use.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Merrick.
But does that include Merrick, or am I just ditching him?
It depends on what you're describing. Like, if you were just to say, like, I'm going to pick him up in his armor and we're going to fly away, I would say that's not narratively possible because of his, like, he just weighs too much for you with his armor on.
Make him take that damn armor off.
Okay, so do you all want a minute and we can shift to someone else, or does anyone have an action?
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
I'm going to cast a spell. As soon as Cacophony comes close, I'm going to cast a magic weapon
All right.
on her claws.
be like-
I'm going to try to
Right up there.
empower the spell if I can.
Merrick, I've got bad news for you.
What?
You have no connection to Worm here.
Ooh, I'm unable to cast spells, huh? I will try to make the motion to cast a spell and feeling nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kind of look up a little bit in fear, Cacophony, and be like, all right, no spells for me.
You want to try and make a run for it back to the gazebo? Can
We
you run in
can.
that? Can you run in the armor or no?
I mean, I can try.
All
I
right.
would rather finish our task here, though.
I feel like we were sent on a fool's errand. First of all.
Okay. All
We're
right.
gonna try and hightail it back to the gazebo, I think.
Okay.
'Cause obviously, if we're stuck out here, we're gonna like if there's no shade or cover.
Give me a defy danger dex, one of you. That is an 8. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. Okay. While I think about that, we're going to cut back over to Basil. Let me go ahead and bring back our Elven music. Okay.
Ready for my Agoge Jedi trial.
That's right. So you walk through the thick forest as Tender Robin leads you to another copse. This one has the sounds of training nearby, the sounds of clattering swords, the very familiar sound of an arrow finding its mark in a tree or on a target. And there are some very young looking elves with very light leather armor practicing with weapons and sparring with one another. And as Tender Robin announces herself, they all straighten up and into attention and stop their practice. Tender Robin introduces you and says that you will be observing the trials here today. And then Tender Robin will begin to duel each of them. And as she does, it is clear that she is a formidable duelist with her sword, which is a long sword. She basically could totally beat all of these trainees, even if they came at her 2 or 3 or 4 on 1, she would be fine. But she is holding back to test what they have learned, and basically pushes herself up to whatever level they're at, and then just a little bit past that, to really challenge them. And as she is dueling with each of them and knocking them down and getting them to forfeit, she is giving tips to each of them about their form, about their stance, about their grip, about their moves. But she is giving them support and gentleness with that, and encouragement. There are a few of them that she says are ready, and others that need to continue work. So she's kind of evaluating them as she goes. And then there are a couple who just kind of sit off to the sidelines, those who look like the most green. And she just kind of puts it out there, does anyone else want to take their test? And she looks at those who just kind of linger on the sidelines, and then she kind of glances over at you.
Already got my swords out, and I'm already standing next to the last person in line.
Excellent.
Although I think at each positive and encouraging thing that she would have said, I think Basil would have continued the passive aggression and just scoffed. Been such a good mother to these people,
Damn.
How dare you be a competent leader?
Yeah.
You weren't a competent mother.
Whoa.
Yeah, just really shitty and bitter.
Wow. Okay. So she lines up to duel you, and she takes a completely different stance than the same one she was using for all of the other trainees. And prepares to duel you. She waits for you to make the first move. What do you do?
I, with one sword held behind my back, ready to Viper Strike, I lunge straight forward, as I did in our fights against the Rust Brothers. Other Rust Brothers. Who did we fight in the the dugout hollow where we had the traps and everything?
Oh, that was the Veilers.
Those were Veilers, like I did with the Veilers.
Okay.
Is that a
Yeah. Give me
volley? Or hack and slash?
If you're using swords, that is hack and slash.
Hack and slash. Oh no.
That is a miss.
Wait, it was on strength. Shouldn't it be on dexterity?
I don't think that was gonna matter, Andy. You rolled two ones. I mean, it would have been 5. Yeah, mark XP. You come at her swinging, and she is just dodging all of your blows. And then you bring out the second sword as you get frustrated. And she has no problem with it. She just picks up the pace, and she's like parrying, and she comes in and just like hits you in the chest with the butt of the sword. Take 7 damage minus armor.
7 damage, you said?
7 damage minus your armor.
Okay.
You just go tumbling back, and she doesn't like follow it up. She just gets back into yet a third stance. And just does the like bring it.
Basil will center himself and then charge a second time.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another hack and slash.
Oop.
All right, a partial success. So, this time you managed to land a few blows. Like, so far, all of her attacks, she's like flipped her blade and hit like the other trainees with like the flat sides of her blade and not gone for cuts or lethal blows or anything. Do you do the same? Like kind of pull your punches a little bit, or are you going to like hit her?
I think I go for what Basil would feel is slightly more humiliating, like blade slap.
Yeah.
Like the flat side of the blade, you know.
That's exactly what she's been doing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like wrap the knuckles, you know, and with the Viper Strike as well.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage plus a d4 for your offhand attack. All right, you deal 5 damage to her, and she will deal 6 back to you, minus armor. How are you doing with your health?
I got 11 HP out of 22 right now.
Okay. You land a couple of really good blows, and kind of knock the breath out of her as well. But she is smirking, and not ready to be done quite yet. But she is panting. She resumes her second stance again, which appears to be the most practiced. And she like licks a little bit of. Oh no, they don't have blood because she's an elf. She like blows some hair that had fallen down out of her neat bun or ponytail out of her eye, and smiles as she like rushes towards you, getting ready for another strike.
I evade her first strike and dodge Bruce Lee liquid like becoming water and flowing around her movements, and unable to contain himself, Chives has entered the fray as well.
All right, give me one more hack and slash here.
Okay. Oh, come on. There we go.
Ooh, very nice. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage, plus a d4, and then plus Chives' ferocity. Oof. Oh.
Playing very gently.
What's his ferocity? Is it 2?
Oh,
it's just 1.
1.
Okay, so you deal 3 damage to her, for a total, this would be... Oh wow, you did quite a bit that first attack. So Chives goes in and basically tabletops her, but she manages to like throw her sword in such a way that it catches you in the side as you bear down on her with both of your blades. So you have the I didn't roll damage. Take another 4. And let me know where your health is at.
4 minus armor or 4?
Yeah, 4 minus armor. Okay. She has no piercing the way she's fighting.
This is a dialogue between mother and son to sort of get out their frustration and anger, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We probably should have been narrating some of the exchanges happening here.
That's okay. I'm gonna add that as subtext. Basil's a quiet fighter. He doesn't banter while he's fighting.
Mm-hmm. So she flings her blade, which catches your side, and you are actively bleeding now. Like, that last attack was not pulled. But she is now defenseless, her hands are up, and you have your blades at her. And she's like, very good, very good. Impressive. And there's like lots of clapping and cheering from the peanut gallery here. How low did you get?
8.
Ooh, okay, not bad.
But I'll help her up off the ground and dust her off, and in what I assume is a humiliating act of dominance in the battle dialogue of like brushing the dust off of somebody you've just knocked into the dirt.
She's like, I got it, and she like brushes herself off, and she immediately like looks at her trainees and says, "So, what did you all learn from our duel?" And then she like calls on one of the elves. She says, I just needed a name, Penny, and she calls on a female half elf. Who just like begins to describe some of your moves, and like points out like 3 things that were really, really good about it, and then 1 mistake that you made. Like particularly one of the moves where like your mother had the advantage on you, or got the better of you in that particular move, and she moves on to the next and the next.
If any of the kids make a comment about the advantage of having a goat, Chives bears towards them to be intimidating and be like, I'm part of this too.
I think Chives looks so intimidating that none of them do.
Okay, good.
And after she dismisses them back to their training, she like turns to you and says, well, that was more impressive than I expected. And I expected quite a bit there. Who taught you to fight?
Yeah, who taught you to fight?
Teach you to fight. Do you remember a strange fairy-like monster creature that was with us when we arrived and then flew away?
Yes. I have questions.
He would be responsible for much of the training. Although I should attribute much of it to Chives as well.
And she like looks at the goat. And this is Chives?
Yes, and he's a goddamn ibex. Show some respect.
Well, Chives, well done.
Don't talk to your mother that way.
Even if this fight has relieved some of the tension, he's still salty. So you know.
Well, if you ever want to train, I would be more than honored, happy to give you a few pointers and receive some as well. You clearly have a breadth of experience in combat.
And quietly under his breath, Basil's like, I bet I'd be a lot better fighter if I had actually been raised by you.
Do you want her to hear that?
Yeah, just loud enough. This is well executed passive aggression towards a parent. They have to hear it.
She sighs.
My body may be of an adult man, but my mind is that of a child.
Yeah, Basil is rocking like full strength petulance during every interaction. Okay, it's how he's gonna survive this.
Look, I wasn't. Come over to my office, my other office. And she like walks towards another tree and like kind of like put hand on shoulder, like firm grip, like leads you towards another tree away from the trainees, far from, eavesdropping ears, or at least far enough away. And she says, "Look, when I met your father, it was a passionate affair and a one-time thing, really. I wasn't planning on having a child, and you know with the life that you live, being out here in the wilderness, it is not a place for a babe. If I were to have children, and I've had others throughout the ages, it would have been during peaceful times, and these are not that."
Wrestling with being empathetic and kind, having dispelled a lot of the attention, but still wanting to protect himself. He'll kind of drop like, "Oh, well, sorry, I was so inconvenient," but like try and put a smile on it to show that the wound is healing a little bit.
Look, the world is messy and nature runs its course, but it also always finds a way. That is a core tenet of our people. And I know that you haven't been raised a part of our world, but you are welcome to it if you want. You have a birthright among these people. And I understand that you think of your traveling companions as your family. I understand that. And that has value. There is a bond between you and your sword master, your Selkie friend, and that
The old man.
that
Not old.
The snake guy.
yeah, the
Wrong
snake
campaign,
guy.
John.
Fucking snake guy.
Should you ever decide to change your mind, you are welcome here. Or if you want to run with us in the red as a red runner, I think we could truly have a bond. Build one there. But even now, if you go your way and I go my own, there is nothing I can do. This is all I can offer you.
It's very kind of you. I just happy to learn more about where I come from.
Do you... Clearly the Fawn didn't tell you about me. Did they tell you about your father?
They had no knowledge. Is he still alive?
I'm sure. See... What do you know about,
Is it Wick?
Is it? No.
No.
No,
Hell yeah.
definitely not.
Jesus.
I was gonna hit on your mom no matter what. She's your mom. But
No.
if we can retroactively do that,
Gross.
hell
Gross.
yeah.
Mr. Yuck. No,
Listen.
Mr. Yuck.
Elves are capable of procreating with not only humans, and no matter who they lay with, a half-elf is always as you are, as they are. Your father is a dwarf. He goes by the name of Gandaman Belder. And I will
You're gonna have to write that one down.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Mom.
put that in the chat.
Okay.
Son.
Done. I love it.
Go ahead and give me a spout lore.
Oh yeah.
Because you have knowledge of stone
I do
singers.
know about the dwarves. The Gandaman Belder? Fuck.
Oh.
Level 6!
So you're leveling up tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, let me hold on. How do I want to do this?
Part of you
So if
wants
I
to-
roll a 6, does that mean like I think I know who she's talking about, but I get the name completely wrong? I'm actually talking about somebody else.
So there's a couple ways of doing failures on like spout lore and discern realities and shit. And that is like either I can say you have no idea and just tell you later, or we can like fail forward and I can tell you something with a cost.
You could lie to him. Why don't you lie to him, Nick?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
it's
the
that
other
one
thing. Is
shitter.
like I can give you misinformation.
Gaslight him. Set him up.
I want you to take the debility stunned.
What?
Yeah. Because yeah, it's not Gandaman that you're familiar with. It's that last name, Belder.
Of the famous Belders?
Yes, one of the dwarven clans is the Belder clan, and they live in Belderland. And in fact, as at one point, we have a quick flashback at you like going through the the envelopes that you were handed by Torvald to go deliver. One of them is to deliver them to Turek Belder, king of the Belders.
Oh fuck.
Okay, so let's cut over to Wick. You've been crying a lot.
I'm very emotionally available,
But
I'm feeling like we're kind of done here. I was gonna go look for Merrick,
yeah.
because he is my physician.
Okay, so you are turning. Oh, right. Yes, you are for now turning down exorcism. Okay, so you head back to the first cops you arrived in. There are still a bunch of lay elves just kind of like hanging around, looking confused. Like, is Flo coming back? What are we doing? Are we going after the
Probably be
orcs?
flying around looking for frickin' whoever I recognize, which would be Basil and the goat.
Okay. Eventually you come upon them.
I fall down. My wings made of finger-like flesh.
You get a very disgusted look from Tender Robin.
My lady. No, okay.
She.
I need your son.
Yeah, by all means. He may be
Basil, where the?
he may be at a loss for words right now. He just received some shocking news.
Okay,
Shut-
then. Where's my boy and where's the bird?
I just vaguely point in the direction they walked away towards.
How long have they been gone? What? What?
Several bombshells of information ago.
All right.
And then
Well,
I-
stiff
and-
upper
and
lip
then
chap.
And then I, yeah. I'm just kind of in a daze.
I am too. I guess I invite Basil to come find his teammates who are missing.
Yeah, yes. I'll go with you. Lead on.
Okay. All right.
Research.
All right. Well, good luck. The still mist can be quite confusing, but Just, try a triangle pattern, she suggests. And
Wait, what's a stillness?
You'll know it when you see it. Just head that way. And Basil leads you towards the still mist, which is just a massive, massive cloud of mist and fog, essentially. Okay. Merrick and Cacophony. What was the... Okay, wait, you got a partial success here. Defy danger Dex. Which direction were you headed?
We were gonna try to run back to the gazebo.
Okay.
But there's very real possibility that we won't make it. So
right.
I don't know.
You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. You make it like most of the way. You're like a quarter mile from the gazebo, and the mists all like descend, like begin to surround you. And they begin to like kind of spread out and merge together. And they are like converging from all sides on you. But you have a quick moment to act before you are immersed in the mist.
Okay. Can I use some of my fucking adventure gear or whatever and put like a tarp up over us? I know that's like ridiculous, but like, do I have like a sleeping bag? Can I throw a sleeping bag over us or?
Sure.
I'm spitballing. Are we gonna die immediately? I don't know.
All right. So Cacophony's instinct is to hide. How about you, Merrick? Oh, I need to change the music. This is garbage.
Shit. I wouldn't abandon Cacophony. Is there an oasis near us?
Sure. Yes.
I would grab her shoulder and say, "Quick, the water!"
All right.
Drag her off the ground real fast. And we rush
I am
for
not
the water.
a duck. I'm gonna get mad.
Okay.
But I'll hold my breath and jump in the water.
I see in the chat a question: what is the danger of the red mist? So, the blood mist is for you, Coffee. Just to recap some of our world building, the blood mist is a mist that appeared right at the very end of these like decades-long wars. Demons had been unleashed on the world or on the Ravenlands and were about to slaughter all of the kin of the Ravenlands. And then this mist showed up, and anyone who was not inside their home was killed by these strange shapes in the mist. And by the next morning, the mist had like disappeared into the earth. But every night the mists would appear and float around the Ravenlands and catch people who were traveling outside of their village or home, people that were in the streets, after dark. Basically, people like if you were caught in the blood mist, you probably died. There were some exceptions. Babies and animals were not affected by the blood mist. But some people would share stories of oh, well, the blood mist caught me right as I was making it home, and there was weird shapes, human or sapient figures in the mist. And that was it was just extremely dangerous. There were other specific people who could travel through the mist, like the Rust brothers, shield maidens, somehow apparently elves, and then the fawn, goat-like people would live not in buildings, but they would clutch their children, and that would somehow ward off the blood mists, according to Basil and his experience growing up with the fawn. And also the Raven sisters could move through the blood mist. So, but Cacophony is not an animal. Nope. Cacophony is sapient, and Selkie have been killed, though they have the advantage of being able to fly over it if they want. Okay, so you all are diving into the water?
Yep.
Guess so.
We have that tarp out, so we'll put the tarp on the top of the water and try to keep an air pocket.
Okay.
You smarty pants.
Cacophony.
How wise.
Give me...
No. Okay.
No, this is not the right move for this. I am not going to have you roll escape route because you are not
Right.
escaping.
We're trying to
You are
survive.
hiding. Can I get a defy danger dex from you all? Someone.
I am scared, but okay.
Your dex is
What's the
much
worst
better
that
than
can
mine.
happen? You got XP?
That's an 11.
Oh,
Okay.
Blammy!
All right. You all dive in the water. Boosh, boosh. And you have a pocket of air thanks to this tarp. You can see the mist, like, kind of, like the tarp starts to soak red a little bit, and the water like drips red around you. It is hard to see because the tarp is blotting out a lot of the light, but there's a little bit coming through. But yeah, the mist is definitely upon you now. Okay. Wick and Basil, you two eventually see a strange silhouette of a structure and come upon the gazebo. From the exterior, it doesn't look like there's anything to this gazebo. But as you approach, and one of you steps inside, you see that there are these strange portals to other worlds.
the fuck? Basil, what foul sorcery is this?
Said the wizard.
Frank, what foul sorcery is this?
Could Cacophony be considered enough of a creature to hunt and track?
Ooh, yes. I mean, that counts for people, so you can definitely use hunt and
It
track.
does say just creatures.
I mean,
but,
people are creatures.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it. Then.
Like,
is
automatons and ghosts, no. But anything that is living and organic, yes, that would count.
Got it. All right, hunting and tracking. Boop.
Okay.
Marshall.
All right, you follow the creature's trail until there is a significant change in its direction or mode of travel. I mean, you're tracking both Merrick and Cacophony. At one point, Cacophony flew up into the air to look around, but you can track Merrick, so this is essentially a full success. But as you follow their footsteps and you come upon a dune, you see that there is a huge...
Oh, we just entered.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Sorry. I just assumed that.
Or 5 portals.
Yes. There's 5 portals, but you can quickly identify the one that they went through because there's just tracks in the sand. It's a little subtle, but I mean, without stepping through, but...
Are there like 3 feathers in front of the portal that has the desert?
I think Basil also gets like hunting tunnel vision and is not looking at the surroundings as he goes through.
What about you,
I guess
Wick?
we're going in. Fuck it.
Do
Let's
you
go.
hesitate, or are you just diving in?
I was told to trust my companions. Let's see where that gets me, guys. Oh, here we go.
Okay. So it is not long after the two of you enter that you see a massive cloud of blood mist just lingering over an oasis. Let me grab Basil and Chives. And I will add you two to the map. So let me just cover this. Merrick and Cacophony are probably completely obscured, so it's probably hard to know for sure that they are in there. But yeah, let's start with, you see this massive cloud of blood mist, which you haven't seen in months since the blood mist all disappeared. What do you do? What do you say? What do you think?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I can fly, but that won't change anything in this moment.
Can you link me polymorph?
Yeah.
And is this just persistent?
Yep. until I cast another spell or some other bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, but I had to choose one of these.
Did you?
The form will be... Then the GM will tell you one or more of these. The form will be unstable and temporary. The creature's mind will be altered as well. The form has an unintended benefit or weakness.
Jeez.
I think the weakness is you've never transformed into this before, and these wings are really unnatural. Your movement is really jerky.
That's fine.
It just looks ridiculous.
I enjoy ridiculously flying around.
And it's not super efficient because you're like zigzaggy. But you can get where you need to go. Yeah, Coffee Traveler is still discerning reality over here. Okay. Basil, Chives, Wick, what's the plan? You have the initiative here.
Might back up to the top of a dune to just keep a good view over this oasis where the clouds are gathered.
Okay. You're at a safe distance. What are you thinking, Wick?
Yeah.
I cannot stab air.
Yeah. I turn invisible, by the way, sitting still.
Can you
I
like?
also turn invisible.
Can you
We
like me
leave
that?
the Estu to drown.
Can you like me that move, Basil?
Yeah. Hang on.
Thank you.
Camouflage.
When you keep still in natural surroundings, enemies never spot you until you make a move. You're just like desert.
Yeah. Sunning in the desert.
That's so funny. You're probably very comfortable because you don't have a lot of armor, do you?
No, just leather armor.
Okay, not too bad.
So is this mist like rolling? Does it go off the ground or can it fly like a cloud?
It is floating like a cloud. You've seen at times the blood mist rise to about 15-20 feet,
Okay.
but never like not near the ground. Like it will expand and ebb and flow, get thinner and thicker as it compresses. And here it is like maintaining kind of the same volume, but it is swirling and moving. It is very, very thick, unlike our art asset here.
True. Well, if I can see Chives, who is clearly an animal, I will inform Chives that the blood mist does not fuck around with animals.
Chives is just like curled up in the sand next to me where I'm hidden, sort of negating my
cool.
camouflage, but you know.
Wow, that's really interesting. Oh, so you know that the blood mist will kill demons.
It's Chives a demon.
Well, you
It's
seem to
Chives a demon?
believe Chives is a demon.
Nobody else seems to at this point. You know, look, Wix is schizo. He understands that sometimes things aren't what he perceives them to be.
Sometimes it's a
But
lovable ibex.
But if the ibex does die, then he has confirmation. So, Basil,
He's a witch.
It's a
you want to go
win-win.
send your Satan in there to go rescue your two friends?
Do we even know that they're in there?
No. But we
Yeah.
stopped for some reason.
Well, the tracks head towards it, but you know, I like you said, I can't stab a cloud, so.
Boy, if only they would start swimming to where I'm yelling.
Are you yelling?
Sure, fuck it.
Okay. Give me Defy Danger Charisma, please.
Can the blood mist hear you?
Well, I'm gonna fly the fuck away if
We'll
it
find out.
No sweat.
Okay. American Cacophony, you hear a familiar voice carrying over the water and through the mist. It is the shrill voice of Wick Moss.
Ollie, oxen free!
Marco!
This is so terrible.
Marco!
Marco!
Oh no.
Mariko!
So Merrick, do you want to use the tarp to keep over our heads and make a run for it to wherever the shit Wick is? Because I hear his voice. I
Move
hear
till
it
we
in
hit the
my
edge of the water.
nightmares. I know that voice. What?
Move till we hit the edge of the water.
Yeah.
Get closer. We go towards the voice.
Yeah.
Keeping the tarp over our heads, staying in the water until we get to the edge. And we'll see if
Yes.
something else happens.
I have an idea, but I don't know if it will. I'm thinking if
Oh?
like,
You're cutting in and out, Shannon. Try again.
sorry, it's my cat. I'm thinking that if this stupid red mist is actually the creatures or whatever that are gonna reanimate the elves or whatever, why don't we take one of the rubies and fucking chuck it as far away from us as we can, and maybe they'll like go after the ruby.
I love that idea. Chuck it up to the edge of the sand.
Yeah. Just to see like if they react to it, because clearly like Flo thinks that whatever is here, they'll help us to like revive whatever it is. And if it's the red mist, then we'll know. And if it's not, then we've only lost one douche nozzle ruby. You know, like we have many more rubies that will annoy us later, but we can always try to reclaim it also. I just want to see
Good.
like if they okay. Cacophony's gonna
I will grab the edge of the tarp and give you a 3. When we get to the edge, I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, and then go. So you can
And
toss it out of there.
Yeah, and Cacophony's just gonna fucking whip it out of there and
Let it
see
drop right
like
down.
onto the dune and see like if the red mist goes and like chases after the ruby or whatever.
Oh boy. Wick and Basil, you see an elven ruby just go flying out from the blood mist.
Fuck.
And so like, are you just chucking it super far, or are you like tossing it nearby, like a sacrificial pawn?
Kind of like a sacrificial pawn. Like we were just thinking to like I was thinking to chuck it far enough away from us to see, okay, is the red mist gonna go chase this ruby?
Yeah.
Is that what they're after? Is that why we're surrounded and it won't let up? Or are these the creatures? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, Merrick instantly thought that maybe these creatures were meant to absorb into the rubies, and that was what revived them. So maybe this solves our problem.
maybe. We're spitballing here.
Wick, a ruby lands right here at the edge of the blood mist, and the mist completely ignores it.
Whatever you did, it didn't work.
Well, shit.
Throwing something at it, and don't hit us.
I throw a knife into the mist.
Do you see are there creatures in this mist, or is it just blood? Like, are there things in it? Because like the thing about the blood mist is that like, you know, it's full of weird shit that's it's full of, it's got kukui in it, and it's got like, you know, the boogeyman and all of that. Like, so is there any of that in this mist, or is it just mist?
I discern realities based on what Shannon's telling me and fail my roll.
Yeah, Wick approaches because the mist has yet to react to him. He like takes a couple steps down the dune, and several bits of the blood mist start moving towards him.
Oh, boy.
I'm just flying, man. I gotta get my my helicopter's license somehow, right?
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna separate you all because this map is very small.
Okay.
Let me do this. So you all are on the edge. Wick, the mist is approaching you, and it is chasing
Come follow
after
me,
you.
little children. So as long as I'm flying around, these things are gonna follow me, right?
Yeah, give me a defy danger dex, because your weird inefficient wings are a little difficult to control, but you manage to get the hang of the weirdness and like twist your body like when it's
I
like
just do it.
it's like your wings want to push you left, but you twist so that it's like forward instead. Like you are
That's
like
fine.
getting the hang of the weird ziggy-zaggy and turning it into a line.
I'll get a tail for balance next time. But as I do like the semicircle around the pond, can I like just kite these things?
Yeah.
And-
So you've effectively made this obstacle half as dangerous because you're gonna keep half of the blood mist busy.
Okay.
All right, American Cacophony.
All right.
You notice like there is a moment where half of the mist like shifts away, and there is a moment like where there is a little bit of mist behind you and a clear path ahead of you. It could be incredibly dangerous to make a break for it, but there is a moment there.
I mean,
The
One
alternative
last
is
thing.
that we live in this swamp now, so
yeah, we're totally making a break for it here.
Yeah.
When Wick threw the dagger, did it have any effect at all?
It flew past you and splashed into the water. Wick,
Didn't touch the
subtract one dagger.
That's fine.
so we're making a break
Alright.
for it. And then, do you want to run to the obelisk?
No, I think we run to our
No.
team and into the gazebo.
Okay.
Got
We are leaving.
All right, Cacophony, give me that move, the escape move. Escape route.
Don't fuck it up.
Okay. You can stay or go, but if you go, it costs you. Leave something behind or take something with you. The GM will tell you what.
We're going. What am I leaving behind? That shit ass diamond that I threw, or the ruby, or whatever.
You could take a curse forever. You want to be
No.
cursed forever by the blood mist?
Quit trying to make curses cool.
They are cool.
Your
Quit
dignity.
trying to make fetch happen.
Cacophony. Okay, so here is the problem. This represents a group action. This is all of you getting out. Because like Basil's ahead and fine. Wick has mastered, in air quotes, his flight. So that they're good. It's the two of you that need to make a break for it. Cacophony, you can fly. You're fast. We know this. Merrick is the problem.
Yep.
What this is going to
Okay.
cost is, Bishop's shield. It's the only thing that's heavy, and you can quickly unstrap and drop.
Okay, so I think it falls by the wayside and drops into the water
Oh no.
as we go.
Okay.
Only a shield.
All right.
Sure.
You make a break for it. It's the sub-minute quarter mile, the 400-meter dash of your life, Merrick. The rest of your peers are fine, and the mist is on your tail. You cannot afford to look back, but you feel a presence behind you. The mist like condenses into a shape that the camera can see, but you cannot. But you make a break for it, and the gazebo's there. Cacophony, Basil, Chives, and Wick are like, come on, come on. You run through the portal, and the mist just like chasing fast behind you, like just diverts around the gazebo and does not enter it. And you all make it to the other side, and you are all standing in the gazebo. You all like catch Merrick, who is going like 100% before he like runs past you into yet another portal. And you all make it into the still mist yet again.
I want to go find Flo and throw these stupid rubies in her face.
Can you run us by that one more time? What? What's going on? Why?
Flo
why were
told
you-
us to go into the desert because there were creatures there who were going to help revive these rubies. And she was like, you know, taking a selfish and going and having a nap.
Wait, Flo, like the elf goddess?
Yeah.
Do
She
you
One and
hear
the
her?
same.
Into that one. I'll point at
Is
the
she
the
here
one
with
the
you
golden
right
mist.
now?
She went to the one with the golden mist. I'm going to go fucking tell her what I think of her and her stupid hair. Her beautiful, gorgeous, stupid hair.
Are we killing her?
No.
Eating
But I
her
am
body
gonna-
for power?
Wow.
What?
No. But I am going to drop these rubies like by her door and be like, this is your problem. I'm never going back to that desert world ever again.
This is
And nothing you say will make me.
a gazebo with plenty of room. And shortly after Wick asks, "Are we killing her?" You begin to see movement in the golden mist portal.
I'm going to be like, I know you hear us. I know you hear us in there.
Stepping very quickly through the portal, faster than like with intent, she steps out and she is like pulling at the back of her hair, fixing the mess that you made. What did you do to my hair? What is this bird's nest of a mess?
Who the fuck are you supposed to be?
That's
Wait,
Flo.
This is Flo. Flo. This is.
Oh,
Rick.
yeah? Sup?
Where did you send us? There was blood mist
She
there.
holds out a hand to you. Where the hell did you get that fairy?
Your mom's out. No. Oh, I got Andy!
Got him.
Fucking got him. Someone post in chat. We got him.
He's been with us the whole time.
Yeah, sup?
He was gone when you showed up.
Not my problem, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Is the blood mist your circus and your monkeys? Because it's problematic. This quest you sent us on to restore these fucking rubies.
She looks at the
Right.
portal that you just came through. She looks at the portal that has like the bright blue sky. Oh, it was that one! I'm so sorry. A simple mistake. Anyone could have made it. The healing beings are in that portal. That's the one that cleanses illness. Right. Okay. Yes, the take the rubies right through there. You should meet the angels. They'll take care of everything. Anyway, besides this wicked hairdo, that was quite a relaxing day. Do you mind finishing up with the rubies?
No.
What are you gonna give
absolutely
us?
Not. This is yours.
Maybe you come with us to make the introductions so that we don't have a problem again.
We lost a few things in that one,
Come
including
again?
the ruby.
Yeah. We
Okay.
lost
Can
a
you
ruby.
deal with the blood mist for us?
Yeah, disperse it.
Look, we're just here to take care of the rubies. And she like just takes her massively long arm and like surrounds all of you and just begins to scooch everyone towards the correct angel portal. John,
okay.
you need to describe what you're doing before you roll.
I just want to roll things, Nick.
I know,
I don't
but
wanna
that's
be
not this
touched.
game.
Why is she violating my NAP? Now I have to attack her. Oh, guys. Are you guys ready to fight, Flo?
Do not.
Why not?
I have a feeling that you're not gonna get a fight.
Maybe. I've been told multiple times that they are vulnerable.
This bitch is evasive.
Same.
She might be
So-
like too aloof to fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if she's gonna be shoving us towards an angel portal, I'm gonna be like, hey, why don't you go take your dumb butt, because I'm at a loss for words, and go get that ruby out of that dangerous, evil world over there, and meet us at the Blue Sky Angel Place. This is terrible. I do not forgive you.
She's just she doesn't care. Unless there is a physical action here, like words are lost on her.
This woman sucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. All right. Unless there's anything else, she's just going to push you through this portal, and you all are standing on a cloud.
Like, is it solid?
Nope, but you're standing on it.
Oh my god.
I mean, it feels
hate
solid,
her.
is what I should say. But you are standing in what looks like just open air. Like, imagine Super Mario World if the world wasn't there and there was just, or Super Mario 64. There's just sky everywhere and no
Oh
land.
my god.
You're just standing on a cloud.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Exactly.
Look for a painting immediately.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back through the portal. I'm not.
Okay.
Wick's not here for this.
All right. So the three of you are standing on a cloud. Wick immediately is like running back through. Wick, Flo is leaving. She is heading out into the still mist.
Okay.
All right.
Here's your chance.
Yeah, let me go 1v1 her real quick.
Jesus Christ.
Uh-uh.
All right. Wick, what are you doing? What is the plan here?
I'm gonna wait out there.
Okay. All right. Merrick,
Cool.
Cacophony, Basil. You are standing on a cloud. And after, you have a moment to kind of take it all in that you're standing in just like a sky world. And I should mention that here the stars are visible. Like, there is a blue sky, but you can see stars. Yeah.
Are there 3 red stars up in the sky? I'll look.
No. However, the sky, like the constellations, are exactly the same here. Like, precisely the same.
I think Cacophony is gonna like take it in for a second, and then she's gonna be like, "Hello." I think she's just gonna be calling out for somebody to come and. Where the hell are you?
Shannon, have you ever watched Digimon?
No.
Okay.
What? Come on.
There is a being with 4 white feather wings and a head that has a mouth and a metal helmet that flies towards you from the distance.
Ichimon, digital monsters.
It is perhaps the most graceful looking being you've ever seen besides Flo, but Flo looks weird. This is more humanoid in nature, and it just has like long arms like Flo, but much shorter, like somewhere between Flo's and yours, and 4 white wings, and this weird metal helmet head. And it flies towards you all gracefully. And it just, as it approaches, like, is not threatening. It approaches, and then it just kind of like hovers, like its wings flapping gently as it stands there, and it just waits.
I think Cacophony is like, "Oh my, hello." I didn't see you come there. Can you help us with our rubies?
It extends a hand towards the rubies, and it takes them in its hand. And its hand, it has quite large, like it is a much larger scale than the rest of you. It takes all the rubies in its hands begin to glow, and then it hands them back to you.
Gosh, that was easy.
And it flies away.
I guess. That was too easy. How dare Flo. That bitch. I'm gonna be so mad at her. All right, I guess they're like healing now. And what, do we plant them? I'm gonna look at Basil and be like, how does this work? What do we do with these?
Basil goes, I don't know, and looks to Merrick.
Boy.
I think we return them to the elves.
Okay, let's go. I don't want to talk to them. Somebody else please talk to them. They're terrible human beings. Oh, they're not human beings. They're terrible creatures. Let's go.
I'll talk to them.
Thank you. I can't
We'll get Wick
trusted.
in the way.
Yeah.
We'll walk back to the portal. Assuming there's a portal on this cloud.
Yes, yes. There is a gazebo here, much the same as the other world. You head back through. You catch up with Wick, who just looks so annoyed.
There are
So
like
so
other
annoyed.
portals though. There are other
Yeah, that's
worlds.
what I was thinking.
Yeah. Hey Wick, one of
Yeah.
these portals is a world that looks to be covered by the same material as your sword.
Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go in.
Okay. While they're waiting for an angel to heal their rubies, quick flashback. You step inside this other world. Give me a discern realities, please.
Can I get rid of this fucking confused state now? Have I emotionally settled the baggage that is killing Lucerne?
Yes. That's fine.
Thank Christ. Does it help? It does not help at all. It never helps.
XP.
Yeah, you step in. There is this world is much different than the rest. Like you while you were waiting, you got a good look through all of the portals, and you noticed that in fact all of the skies in all of the worlds have the same skies with the same constellations in them. I probably should have mentioned it in the desert world as well. So that was a poo-poo on me. All of the worlds have constellations in their sky, except this one. Up in the sky, you see, when we see visualizations of like a galaxy with like nebula and gas floating around, it is like that. There are just so many colors in the sky, and it just looks incredibly beautiful and incredibly strange. But all of the black material that covers the earth, and has these strange, like large, like spikes that arc and like kind of snake up and down through the earth all around the world here. But yeah, it's all the same material as your blade. And as you begin to look around, you see that heading towards you is a swarm of creatures. And they are gray, like a dark gray, and it reminds you of your skin.
Gross.
And you're like, they are headed straight for you. What do you do?
Casually turn around and walk back through the portal.
Okay. Much like you saw the blood mist chasing Merrick, this swarm flies right around the gondola, and they look like little tiny creatures with wings. And it's hard to place, but these might just be fairies.
That's cool. Goodbye, Hellspawn, who I shall eat later. Tasty.
And right as you collect yourself after stepping through, Merrick, Cacophony, and Basil step through their portal.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hey, Blake.
What's up?
We got the rubies. They glow now.
They glow?
I
Cool.
think they're restored. I looked to the desert world. I looked at the golden world. I looked at the snowy world. I see you standing in front of the world with Blackstone. Like, did you go in there?
Maybe.
Did you find anything interesting?
I want to say they're weird little demon things, but they're too uniform. I agree too, Robbery.
Sorry.
Not good.
You want to go step into the golden mist real quick?
What I was thinking.
Come on,
Basil, what
man.
do you think?
If that's
Basil,
where Flo
David.
wants to hang out, then
Basil's
I
lost.
want to see what she's been up to.
Yeah, let's go. I step into the golden misted portal.
It is serene and the most relaxing place you've ever been. It's like a sauna, but just the right amount, and you feel refreshed in a way that you've never felt before.
Oh my God, it's like a spa world. That's
I just
awesome.
on fire now. We're in a really holy place.
Hey, Basil? remove stunned. Wick, Merrick, and Cacophony. Take +1 hold. You can spend it the next time I tell you to take a debility and ignore it.
What? Nice. How do I take +1 hold?
Just make
Hold
a
1.
note somewhere or add a hold. I don't know how you'll remember that you have that hold, because hold is just like generic.
It's
but-
like there's the thing in the top corner where it just says hold, and then you can put like a number
Yeah,
next
but you
to it.
should
So
make
I put
yourself a
1
note
hold.
that you have like this ability to just ignore the next debility.
I will.
You can put
Try
it
to
in
do
the
that.
global modifiers in the bottom right. You
Oh,
just
there you go.
literally add one and say hold can remove debility.
Oh dang!
You
Nice.
just
I
gotta
put
type
it
it.
in my alignment. Well, this is cool. Is there anything out there who wants to kill us or eat us or?
Not that you find. Okay. Eventually, I don't know how long you spend in Sauna World, but you find
Oh,
your
we
way
gotta-
back through the still
gotta-
mist. Oh, sorry.
Wait, we gotta go through the snow one, Nick.
I know
You
you
gave
gave,
us
us
five-
5 portals.
Come on. How dare you?
It's the
Give us a
OCD in
door
us.
we
We
can't
must.
open. What's in the snow world? Yetis? Snowmen? Blizzards?
Hey, Wick.
What?
It's so fucking cold. Take shaky.
All right, cool. I'm shaky, then I go on the gold fucking thing and get rid of it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Basil, you can also take +1 hold for the next time you take a debility.
Do I heal up as well?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, you got your shit
I'm
kicked
still
in.
at 8 HP.
Ooh. Heal half of the missing HP.
Making me do math over here.
Okay. You all find your way back through the still mist eventually, and find your way to the elves. You give them the rubies. They indicate that you do need to plant them for them to regrow their bodies, and they will oversee this process. You are welcome to hang around and wait until that happens, or you can move on. Next week, when we come back, you will have the choice. You can head towards the orcs, or just to the east is actually another one of the communities that you have a letter for. It is a small human settlement. I don't have a name for their settlement. Let's call it... I'm looking around. I'm doing that thing where I look around my room for a name, for inspiration.
Chairville.
Jesus Christ.
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton?
Bridgerton.
Fuck yes,
I
love it.
F-R-I-G-G-E-R-T-O-N.
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton.
I like
Sure.
Bridgerton better.
I've been watching Bridgerton, and damn,
It's so good.
Is it smut?
Yeah. Why do you think I like it so much?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Smutsville. No, it is Bridgerton. So when we get back, you'll have the option of Bridgerton or heading toward the orcs, or there's lots of other letters that we can talk about. Yeah. How's everyone doing with XP? Basil, did you failed a lot of rolls? Are you ready to level up? You are muted.
Super muted.
I am ready to level up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, go ahead and level up.
No? Okay.
Sauna World was so pleasant. You can just level up immediately. Shannon, did you ever figure out what move you wanted to take? You are also muted.
God damn it. The mute. Come on, Shannon. Get your head out of your ass. The move was escape route.
Oh,
Sorry.
you
That was
did
my-
take escape route. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well timed.
It was either that or heist. So I think heist is my next one.
Okay. Well, why don't we, since we're kind of concluding an arc here, let's take.
Are we?
Are we?
Well, let me take a look here.
We haven't really done anything. We just got We dropped some rubies off. We completed an arc like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, everyone take 1 XP
Okay.
for delivering a letter
Woohoo!
and
The
surviving an
only XP I
encounter
got
with the
this
blood
session.
mist.
Delivering a letter and rubies.
Kaloo-Kalay.
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, while y'all are settling that up, does anyone have any plugs they want to give?
I'm JonDungeonMaster. We do things at my Twitch stuff. Go watch me. Or
You should.
else.
A lot of fun.
Yes. John does produce some pretty awesome content.
Yeah.
Merrick also produces some pretty awesome content. Merrick just made a Land Beyond the Mists character for Greg Hansen's show, his West Marches campaign. Do you want to tell us about your character really quick, Brian?
Yes, Fizzle Spark McAwesome Sauce is about the most annoying gnome that you have ever seen. He is smarter than you, and he most definitely knows it, and he will make sure that he tells you at every opportunity. He's looking forward to all the minions that will act as meat shields for him as he goes through and tries to achieve great power and glory.
Fantastic. So yeah, look forward to some announcements about some of us playing on Land Beyond the Mists. I know John is making a character. I made a character called Malison with an M, who is a statue. And they don't know why, but they're a rogue, and it's gonna be awesome. I have plans. Yeah. Shannon,
I
Andy.
made an Asimar.
I have no plugs because I don't want to be found.
Smoke bomb.
Do not seek me.
Don't perceive.
Okay. Well, oh shoot. If you all stick around for a minute after we head out, I'm gonna give my dogs treats because Valid Opinion redeemed a puppy treat down in the channel points below on Twitch. If you enjoyed the content, please let people know who you think would enjoy our content, and feel free to subscribe or ask Valid Opinion to subscribe for you. And subscribe on YouTube. That really helps. Once we reach 100 subscribers, I can change my URL. And it'll be fucking awesome. So we'll see you all next week.
Wow.
What? It's my plug.
That was a genuine wow. Sorry. I did not mean that to be
It sounded really,
sarcastic.
really sarcastic.
I
we'll see.
withdraw
All the cool
my...
kids are doing it.
Withdraw the wow. Wow. We'll see you all
Fuck
next.
yeah!
Bye-bye.